Welcome to Tales from the Narc Side, where all tales are true. Everything I've experienced or witnessed myself. I'm going to talk a little bit about loneliness today and a little bit about when two narcissists happen to get together because that seems to be happening more and more these days because of all the narcissism in the world seems to be so rampant. You see that more often now, how two narcs sort of end up together, at least for a little while. They don't stay with anyone, narcissistic or empathic, whoever it may be. It's not going to last. But I was just going to talk a little bit about that. And start out with the loneliness. I get this a lot. I mean, I struggle with it sometimes, but not as often as people think I would. Because I get asked that a lot. Aren't you lonely? Don't you get tired of being alone? Yeah, I do. I get tired of doing things by myself, everything, pulling in the income, doing it all alone. But I thoroughly enjoy being able to come and go as I please, not having anybody belittle me, not having anybody lie to me, not being in a relationship that just seems so unhealthy that it's making me miserable. Um, it has a lot of its upsides. A lot being alone does. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to meet a great man and who was empathic like myself, who had some, the same morality that I do, and we could build a life together. I would love nothing more. But it's sort of hard to find that these days, of course, with all the narcissists running around. Everybody seems to be full of themselves, basically. Which, everybody should love themselves. You should take care of yourself. You should probably put yourself first, especially when it comes to abusive people and toxic relationships. But I'm just saying that, most people these days are pretty self absorbed, self centered, narcissistic. Um, Seem to be, they don't want a loving relationship. That's just how it is these days. So, a lot of times two narcissists can end up together as well. But I just wanted to talk about the loneliness for a minute because um, after 24 years of having dysfunctional men in my life, and being quite miserable for most of those 24 years because of the dysfunction and the unhealthiness of it all, um, I find that being alone is quite enjoyable. I've done a lot more in my life since I've been alone. I've experienced a lot more. I've gotten out and I've done more things. I've met people. I've just experienced so much more in the past 8 years than I did in, 20 years. Being in a monogamous relationship that was not healthy. Um, so, being alone is not all that bad. I quite enjoy being able to come and go when I want. I don't have to cook for a man or do a man's laundry, or, have to schedule my day according to them and what they would like. It's freeing and um, it's nice just to be able to. I mean, if I want to lay in bed all day on a Sunday or my day off, I can do that. Not that I do, but I'm just saying I can do whatever the hell I want, and I quite enjoy it, frankly. So, being alone is not all that bad. Now, it does have its downfalls, especially when you're a woman and, you have to do everything yourself. You've got to pull in the money, you've got to bring home the bacon, you got to fry the bacon, you got to put the bacon on the plate, you got to do it all. If something has to be done, you have to do it. And it's a little difficult at first, but you get used to it. And not only do you get used to it, you get quite good at doing things for yourself, and it makes you feel better about yourself when you don't have to depend on anyone else. It's a good feeling. Um, and like I said, I've experienced more out of life in the past 8 years that I've been single. I don't consider the 3 years with a narc relationship anyway. I was single the entire time since my last long-term relationship. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there, that loneliness is not all that bad, because you're free to do whatever you feel like doing for yourself, and it gives you time to work on yourself and your life. And, you're not going to do anything but improve. Trust me, when you work on yourself. And I think it's important after narcissistic abuse to actually take the time to be alone. Because if you can't be alone and be okay with that, that's not normal. That's not healthy. Narcissists cannot be alone. That's one of their, traits. So, take the time after narcissistic abuse to be alone, because it's very important. It helps you grow as a person, and it's not going to do anything but improve yourself. Trust me. All right, so now on to the subject of when two narcissists get together and, that kind of shit show. So, yeah, I've seen this for myself in quite a few different situations. I'm not going to mention any particular ones, but I've seen it in quite a few situations where two narcissistic people get together. It's explosive, very explosive. At first, it's all about the lust and the sex, and if they both look good, most narcissists do, they're both usually attractive people. That's what, sort of starts the whole thing, the physical attraction. But, as narcissists are, they're not out for they're not out for love, they're not out for companionship or to build a life together. They're out for whatever the other person can do for them and make them look and feel. And, if they don't want to work much, carry them through life and retirement and so on and so forth, provide a home, and, So, what I've witnessed when two narcs get together, and I've seen it in different scenarios, and it just depends on the narcissists themselves. Now, as you know, a lot of male narcissists, they don't like to work much. They could be 50 years old and they still don't like to work much. They could be living with their parents. They could be staying just here or there, or just, whatever. Sort of a free spirit, as they like to call themselves, because they don't have a normal schedule, a work schedule. So that's usually how a lot of these male narcissists, that's how they operate in their older age. They don't really have a career or, a steady schedule. They're all different, but they're all the same. I hope you all can understand that. They all have different individual qualities on how they operate and their behavior, but it's all the same because it's all the same patterns, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So, like, you might have one narcissist who, he might like to flaunt himself. He doesn't like to work much, but he's driving around in an Escalade, claiming he has a lot of money put away and a huge 401k and whatnot. And then you might have another narcissist, with the same, and arrogant, egotistical, full of themselves. And you might have another narcissist who doesn't like to work much, of course, and probably drives a piece of shit car and just lays his head wherever he can, and, good looking, and takes a lot of selfies, and, it just all depends on when the two narcissists get together. They're always going to be looking for what the other one can do for them and how they make them feel. So, if two narcs get together and say one of them doesn't like to work much and they don't have a stable income, a stable home, or a stable life, which a lot of them don't, they're not going to be put out publicly as being in a relationship. They will be hidden. They will be hidden while the other narcissist keeps all the options open, because they're always going to be looking for something better, but at the same time they're going to want to control that person and keep the sex coming and keep the attention coming. No matter if they make them look good or not, whatever they're getting out of them, whether it be sex or companionship or whatever, they'll keep them around just for that reason while they're scoping everything else trying to find something better, which is how a lot of them go down. Or, like I said, if they're sort of, make themselves look like they have a little money or a little bit of something to offer, then they won't be hidden. They'll be in a relationship on Facebook or whatnot, but they'll put everything on there. Two narcissists are going to be in constant competition for attention. They're going to have constant attention from the opposite sex. They're going to always be belittling each other. There's going to be some lying going on. There's going to be all this dysfunction. If one of them has a drinking problem, that's going to add to that. If there's a drug problem, there's a lot of that going on. So there's going to be a lot of fighting. There's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of drama. And you can only hope that your ex-narcissist hooks up with another narcissist, because that is a good shot of their own fucking poison. And that's what the hell they need. And it gives them a little wake-up call. I mean, it's not going to change them or anything, but it sure is fun to watch. And it's karma served up for you on a silver platter. Because you get to watch the whole shit show unfold. And usually they put everything on social media anyway, so once you're over it and you're feeling better, you can, if you want to see a shit show, all you got to do is look at social media and everything plays out on it. With most narcissists, they'll go through relationship after relationship after relationship, person after person after person. They make it all public. I mean, every little thing that happens, they make it public. I mean, it's a shit show. So, and this happens more often these days because there's so many narcissists out here, just egotistical, self-centered, attention whores is what they are, male and female. And so it seems like they're hooking up more and more. And I swear to God, you have to have a hazmat suit to go around these people. It's so damn toxic. I mean, nobody wants to be around it. Nobody, because it's so obvious what they're doing, and it's toxic. It's all it is toxic. Anybody gets tired of it, that back and forth with that unhealthiness and all that shit I just described. It's nobody wants to be around it. But yeah, so, compare that to being alone and being able to do whatever the hell you want to do when you want to do it and improving your life, becoming stronger by yourself, for yourself, you're a winner. You are a winner. So just remember, if you're alone, you don't have to be lonely either. There are a lot of places you can go to meet people. There are meetups now. If you have any friends, just get together, have get-togethers, take hikes. Go fishing. Find something you like to do. There's lots of things to do out there. So loneliness is not that bad. It's really not. The biggest struggle I've had with it is just trying to do everything by myself. But it's made me so much stronger, and I've actually been able to work on myself for a couple of years, and it's actually, improving my life in a lot of ways. So I just wanted to put that out there, and just hope, if you've been through narc abuse, that your ex-narc ends up with another one, just like them. Y'all have a great day. Stay narc free. Bye.